Hello and good morning to all of you. My friends, today I would like to discuss the Act of 1773. But before directly taking plunge into it, let me give you a very basic introduction about the situation which was prevailing before the 1773. Because this understanding will help you in order to retain the various features of the Act of 1773. Otherwise, what will happen that you will go through over and over again, yet you would hardly remember anything. So that's why let me give you a very basic introduction about the situation which was prevailing before the 1773. So the first thing which you need to keep in mind that before 1773 there were two battles which had happened. The first was the Battle of Plassey in 1757, and the second the Battle of Buxar in 1764. Okay, and these both battles were won by the company, and Clive was the leader there. So what actually happens that the Clive, after the Battle of Buxar, he introduces the dual government in the Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha. The meaning of dual government is here that Clive asks to the representatives of the Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha to retain the rights of Nizamat and give the rights of Diwani. So because after all Clive was hungry for the money, or the company was hungry for the money, so money was I mean everything for them. So that's why the Clive he gets the right of Diwani. Now what actually the situation happens here that the people, okay, of Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha, they started really I mean they started facing lots of problem. Why? Because what happened that the Nizam, okay, he did not have the money. He did not have the money, but he has the responsibility to take care of his pupil. Where is what was happening with the company that the company had the money, but the company was not looking after them. Company was not interested at all to look after the people of these particular areas or these particular territories. So the people were left in the lurch. Okay, they I mean became completely clueless where to go, towards the company which was not interested to look after them, and towards the Nizam which I mean who did not have any money. Although he wanted to help them, but he did not have any money, so how can he I mean manage his population or his people? So this situation I mean gave a sort of signal to the British government that something which is not going on good in India. So this was the first reason that British government start thinking to interfere in the affairs or in the activities which was being carried by the company during I mean before the 1773. This was the first thing. Now the second thing what happened here, that you must know that in 1972 a secret parliamentary committee reported that the servants of the company, including even Lord Clive, they I mean deposited a lots of money, countless money with them. In contrast to this, what happened that the company had applied for a loan of 1 million pound to the British government. I mean, what's going on here? The people of the company, they were earning a lots of money. Even then, the company had applied for the loan of 1 million pound. There is something which does not meet to our eyes. There is something which is going on under the carpet. So this also gave a hint to the British government to interfere in the affairs of the company which was being carried out in India. Okay, so these were, the regions which really triggered it to the British government to bring the regulating act of 1773. Apart from this, the people of the company, they were engaged in taking bribes, or taking gifts or these kinds of things. So after all, what happens that the regulating act of 1773, it comes into existence. And let me tell you what were the various features of this act. That the first thing which was done through this act, that the Warren Hastings was made the Governor General of Bengal. Okay, the Governor General of Bengal meaning is here that the existing territories like the Madras or the Bombay, these all the existing territories were that time were brought under the guardianship of the Warren Hastings. I mean, Warren Hastings was made whole and soul of all the existing territories of that point of time. So basically the British government, I mean, used the Warren Hastings as a person who should hold all the authority. Okay, or you can say he became the center of power. Okay, Warren Hastings, he became the center of power. So basically, the centralizing tendency of the power was done through the Act of 1773. This was the first thing. Now the second thing was done that the Supreme Court of Calcutta. Okay, it was established, and Mr. Eliza Impey was the first Chief Justice of this Supreme Court of Calcutta. Basically, it was brought to resolve the issues or the disputes which were happening at that point of time. Okay, so this was the second thing which was done through the Act of 1773. Now, the third thing which was done through this act, that it prohibited the servants of the company from engaging in any private trade related activities, or in any bribe related activities, or any illegal things. So basically it put a hold on the people of the company or the servants of the company, so that a level of transparency could be maintained. So this was, I mean, some things which were done through the Act of 1773. Let me add the last thing which was done through this act, that the you have heard there is a term called Court of Directors. Okay, basically the court of directors were the people who were chosen by the shareholders of the company. These court of directors were 24 in numbers. Okay, so what was done through this act, that the court of directors were made responsible to report. Okay, they were made responsible to report regarding the matters of revenue, regarding the matters of civil rights and military affairs. So basically these court of directors, they were asked through this act that you have to report to the, I mean, British government in context to all these related matters. So it gave a sort of responsibility. It gave, a put an onus on the court of directors, and in this manner, this regulating act, I mean, brought, you can say, a sort of transparency, or it enabled the system so that something better could be done. But let me tell you that this act was not, I mean, sufficient enough. That's why what happens, because whatever the shortcomings were present, I mean, all the shortcomings were not removed through this act. But yes, as we know that something is better than nothing. Okay, so after that, the Pitt's India Act of 1784 comes. I will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you. Thank you very much.